Welcome back. Want to return now to our coverage of all that's happened in Las Vegas last night and just the images coming out of there, the emotions that we're all feeling in terms of, how to help, how to go on, how to talk to our kids about it. A regular here on the couch is Dr. Aziz Gazipura from the Center for Social Confidence. And Dr. Aziz, when we were talking in our meeting this morning about who we need to talk to, we all thought of you because you come on the couch and you often do give us answers for dealing with tough emotions. You called them uncomfortable emotions.
Sure.
And where do we start?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, and I'm glad I could be here to support. And where do we start indeed? I think we want to start by slowing down and actually looking inward. In our society, we're very fast-paced, next thing, and then even in the moments that could be silence, we got our phones, we got TV, we got so many distractions. And when something like this happens, there can be almost an impulse to speed up. We want to watch more news, take in more, what's happening, because it's so shocking when we see something like this. And even though our impulse is to go faster, we need to slow down and take in some news, find out what's happening, and then just maybe turn off the radio, be silent in your car for 20 minutes, and actually just notice what do I feel? Not what do I do yet, just feel. And maybe you feel angry, scared, shocked, disturbed, sad, and just let yourself become aware of those feelings is the first step.
It's funny you say that. This morning, Kathy and I, obviously we do this for a living. We report on this sort of tragedy often, sadly, all too often. And I found myself this morning reading every article I could find, and which is of course my job. But at one point I had to say, I was about to click on the next link and it was photos and videos, and I stopped myself because I said, I've seen enough of it. And I had to pull back and just say, I don't need to see more at this point. And so I think that's probably very big for people at home. Turn off the news at some point.
Sure, and I think that impulse to find out more and more, when we're doing that, we're kind of a little bit disconnected from how we're feeling. It's a way to get away from it. And we're going into the experience of it, but not our own. And when we slow down, it's uncomfortable. I mean, it can be confusing or overwhelming.
There's the helplessness, and then there's the disbelief and the head shaking, like, really, again? And there's a sense of doom, I think, when this continues to happen over and over again. And how do you push forward from that?
Sure. Well, I think that those are common responses to tragedy, especially sort of man-made tragedy, someone doing something so horrific to other people. And maybe there is that helplessness because we're like, what can I do? And then all of a sudden you're in the sphere of like gun control and politics and political ideologies, and it gets overwhelming. And I think what we want to do is we want to say, how can I use this to move life forward, which the impulse is to shut down, right? Say, well, it's helpless and hopeless. But let me give you a short story about this. About a month ago, I just found out a good friend of mine died spontaneously, was hit by a truck out of nowhere. And I felt so many feelings, so much pain. Actually, it took me about a week of like, I'm going to work harder and ignore this. And then I started to feel it. And just a lot of sadness, confusion, what's the point, we're doomed. But then on the other side of that, when I really sat with those feelings, I started to feel a deeper sense of, man, we don't know how long we have here. And how do I want to live? And if I could know somehow, like, oh, that would happen to me or someone I love, what would I do differently? I probably wouldn't change the state of the world. I would love my kids more deeply. I would look at people in the eye. I would connect more. And I think that's how we move forward, is by going deeper into life instead of going back.
And trying to see the good when there is.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
Dr. Aziz Gazipura, thank you so much for being here and for the good tips.
Of course, yeah, thank you.